You're in Braves country. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. McGee. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P's still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young. The game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Rama-Lama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. McGee.
like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub call. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop. All throughout Braves country, pop that top! Your Atlanta Braves have won it all!
gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate. Please remain standing. We call your attention to our fans here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture, our national anthem. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies, Trey Turner. He's got 11 home runs, 37 RBI, 20 stolen bases, batting .302. Kyle Schwarber, batting second, the designated hitter, 25 home runs, 57 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .247. Alec Bohm, batting third, playing third. 7 home runs, 36 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .280. Nick Castellanos is batting cleanup and playing right. 9 home runs, 44 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .282. Max Kepler's in left field and batting fifth. 9 homers, 28 RBI, a .213 average. JT Realmuto is behind home plate and batting sixth. 5 home runs, 28 RBI, 5 stolen bases, a .246 average. Bryson Stott is batting seventh and playing second. He's got a .246 average, 12 stolen bases, 34 RBI, 5 home runs. Kemp is at first base and batting eighth. A .242 clip with 1 home run, 9 RBI, 1 stolen base. Brandon Marsh is batting ninth and in center. 2 homers, 17 ribbies, 3 stolen bases, a .259 average. On the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies, it's the southpaw, Jesus Luzardo. He's 7-3 with a 4.08 ERA. A 1.37 whip, 90 innings, 104 strikeouts versus 95 hits, 29 walks, 7 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Spencer Schwellenbach. Schwelly is 6-4 with a 3.21 ERA and a 0.99 whip. 103 innings pitched, 96 strikeouts, 86 hits allowed, 17 walks, 13 home runs given up. Backing up Spencer Schwellenbach in the bottom of the first inning. Leading off and playing right field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. 9 home runs, 18 RBI, 4 stolen bases, bang 366. Batting second, playing first, Matt Olson. 15 home runs, 52 RBI, a 256 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 11 home runs, 40 RBI, a 247 average. Austin Riley batting cleanup and playing third. 12 homers, 41 RBI, 2 stolen bases, bang 267. Batting fifth and playing second, it's Ozzie Albies. He's got 6 home runs, 28 RBI, 7 stolen bases, bang 223. Batting seventh behind home plate, Sean Murphy. Smurf has 9 home runs and 22 RBI. He's batting 218 on the year. Batting seventh and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's not who you think it would be. It's Eli White. 3 home runs, 16 RBI, 5 stolen bases, bang 251. Michael Harris on the pine versus the left-hander. Playing left field and batting eighth, it's Stuart Fairchild. 2 RBI, 2 stolen bases, bang 205. Batting ninth, playing short, it's Nick Allen. He's got 14 RBI, 6 stolen bases, bang 237. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Jeremy Rehak. Your first base umpire, Willie Traynor. Second base will be manned by Chris Conroy, and down the third base line, it's Brendan Miller, where he belongs. If you missed that late night ball game last night, Brendan Miller was absolutely dreadful for both teams behind home plate. Game time temperatures at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia tonight. First pitch are expected to be about 85 degrees with the wind blowing in from right field into left at about 6 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 170 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. Our pick to click tonight, Jesus Luzardo is a tough customer. And the former Marlin, well, the Braves have seen him quite a few times. We're going to go with Marcell Ozuna. He's 5 for 13 lifetime with a home run and an RBI for a 385 average versus Luzardo. Other guys to keep a look at, Olson does have a home run, but he's batting just 143 with 7 strikeouts in 21 at-bats. Austin Riley batting 250 at 5 for 20 with no home runs. Ozzie Albies 5 for 16 with no home runs. Smurf is just 1 for 8 lifetime. Fairchild 0 for 2. Allen 1 for 5. You do have a 300 batting average with Ronald Acuna Jr. with no home runs, but he does have 4 strikeouts. We expect a pitcher's duel tonight, fairly low-scoring game. Hopefully, the Phillies got all the runs out of their system last night. We're going to take your Atlanta Braves to win this one 4-1. Keys to the game tonight, Philadelphia Phillies have a pretty decent sample size against Schwellenbach, but none of them have really feasted on him. Schwarber does have a home run, but he's 2 for 8 lifetime. Turner, 3 for 12, just 1 RBI. And Castellanos, 2 for 12, 4 strikeouts. If Schwelly hits the ground running and pitches like he has been this last few times out, he's got the stuff to shut down this Philadelphia offense. And the bullpen is definitely well rested after the debacle last night and not really being used of much in the last half of that Mets series. Biggest concerning and the biggest blunder last night in bullpen management. Down 13-0, the Braves used their closer, Dylan Lee, for no real good reason. It hadn't been that long since he'd pitched. So now you got the next 2 nights, and one of those games, are we not going to have him available because they wasted an effort in an absolute blowout? The biggest question as a whole with this team going forward, if we're not going to get good innings out of Bryce Elder, and we know Didier Fuentes is dicey at best, we're going to have to go out and dominate Schwellenbach and Strider days and hope to get the win when Grant Holmes hits the hill as well. They might have to bust these guys up into the rotation after the All-Star break to make sure that you're not wearing out your bullpen with them pitching on top of each other. I'd suspect that Bryce Elder is going to get one last start to prove his worth, and then they may go down to the minors, but there's not a whole lot to pick from down there. Might be some names that you know, but they're not pitching well. All in all, I kind of expect Anthopoulos to be looking for a veteran starting pitcher to put into the back end of that rotation at the All-Star break. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the country club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. Let's get you straightened out here, and we are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Rest in peace, Mr. Dave Parker. For those of y'all who may not know who he is, 7-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, the Cobra. In fact, I've actually got a bobblehead of the Cobra in here from his Pittsburgh days. I don't know why, but he was always one of my favorite players growing up as a kid. And I know that hits Pirates fans a little harder than most, especially if you grew up in that era, him and Willie Stargell and whatnot. We'll go over some of his statistics as the game wears on. Let's go ahead and get up to the top, and let's get to who is in Braves Country tonight. Roll back quite a bit, and I see John, Uncle Charlie Fritz. Bugs Bunny 77 in the house tonight. Iron Lung. Jameson Taylor, come on down. Ernie. Tree Nug. You fell asleep after the rain started to fall. Yeah, you didn't miss anything, Tree Nug. Bullet dodged. I'm glad the radio stations called it a night and told me to turn it in, because man, that was brutal. I stayed up and watched most of it. I'd be lying to you if I said I listened to it. I actually just had it on mute and was watching other things. I tried listening to it for a little while, but it's pretty brutal listening to that television broadcast. And man, I just felt like that once again we got outmanaged. Rob Johnson did the smart thing. When you get a pitcher hot and you got to sit him down, you might as well just do a bullpen game, and that definitely got them the W. All right, see who else we have in here tonight. What you talking about, Willis Mathis? Truth Mission, Star Wars 99. Congrats on your win last night, S-Dub. We did not show up. Hopefully you got all that scoring out of your system. Jason Up and Adams. Billy Birdwell. My man Nathaniel Brooks. Royale in the house. Daniel Barry. Who else do we have in here? Gary the Real McCoy, welcome to the country club finally, Gary. See if we have any others in here. Pushing buttons. See what else we have here tonight. Running across the same names in the chat. I don't see any new ones. Pretty sure I always said Jameson Taylor. Charlie Elrod. This is why I don't go to the very top, but I did tonight. I went all the way to the beginning. John Blaze. Johnny Blaze. I think that's just about it. See if we have any more. I'm going to scroll down. George Pearson. Brian Smith. Edward Spry. Good. Thank you for the contribution, Royale. CT, Christopher Townsend. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. And Raheem. Good to see you. All right, let's take a really quick break. When we return, pitch by pitch, play by play of those Atlanta Braves. Hopefully they show up tonight. They did not show up last night. Oof. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. It helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the radio news.
Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. There is nothing wrong. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
adventures in time and space.
We offer you Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another Braves ball game. Yes, sir. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball, no more measles, and free tickets to the circus.
You're in Braves Country.
a reminder, disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Good evening, Braves country. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. The national broadcast tonight, so I'm trying to go around a way to keep it from being delayed on my end. I think I figured it out. And hopefully, there's some dark clouds over, but hopefully we're going to avoid any kind of bad weather that will slow down this game. Getting ready for the 3D to kick in. See if it'll respond. It looks like it's available, but it's not responding quite yet. That's why we put the card over your screen to keep you from having to see the jumpiness. Hasn't quite kicked in yet. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. The first pitch on the way is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Trying to get this 3D kicked in. For some reason, it's not loading. The 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Trey Turner, your batter. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Sawed off foul. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Trey Turner batting .302 on the year. 11 home runs. Here we go. It's finally coming in. Pitch on the way. Down and in. 1-2. What you'll see from Spencer Schwellenbach today, it's a 6-pitch mix. He's a kitchen sink guy. He's got four-seam fastball 36% of the time, slider 17, splitter 14% of the time, cutter 12, curve 11, and the sinker 9% of the time. The 1-2. Swing, chops it over towards third. Riley has it, fires it over to Olsen. He'll get Trey Turner, who's hustling down the line by about a step. It's one away. One down. Defense for the Braves tonight in the outfield. It's Fairchild to Eli White to Acuna in the outfield. Michael Harris getting the seat versus the lefty. Overdue seat. In the infield, much the same. Riley to Allen to Ozzie to Olsen. It's Smurf behind the plate. First pitch on the way to Kyle Schwarber is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Schwarber with 25 home runs on the year. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Bender underneath the knees. 1-1. Wind is whipping out to right field towards the chop house. really started to pick up here just a few minutes ago. The 1-1, down and in, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Schwellenbach comes set, brings it, swing and a miss. 2-2. Good bender. Looked like the slider just kind of fell off the table. The 2-2 to Schwarber. Schwelling, they set up inside the pitch. Swing, rips it to center, drifting over, and there's your first miscue without Harris in the outfield. Eli White read it wrong. It goes over his head, and it's going to be a one-out double. So instantly, Eli White, who has not played center field in quite some time, misread that ball. If he's got a good read on it, it's going to be an out. But instead, a double to the wall. He came charging in, then realized he was going the wrong way. It's much different playing defense in center field as opposed to left and right where he's been all year long. He's probably playing a little too aggressively in, especially with Schwarber at the plate. He probably should have been a little bit back. First pitch on the way, 97, right down Main Street. It's 0-1. And you're going to deal with that. That's always been the argument. That's always been the argument with benching Harris. I just think the problem is they haven't done it enough to give Eli a chance to actually play center field. The 0-1 right down there on the inner track. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. That sinker, it cut right in there on the hands. The 0-2 from Schwelly, the pitch. Caught, looking strike three. Bender at the knees. Sit down, boom, you bum. 2 away. He didn't like the call, but that pitch was definitely at the knees. I hate the Fox box that they have. The one you see on your screen is much more clear and indicative of where it is in the strike zone. The Fox one, it's barely even lit as the first pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball. From Schwellenbach to Castellanos, it's 0-1. I don't know who told Fox that that's a better box on the screen, but it's god-awful. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. I know a lot of people hate the ESPN broadcast, the play-by-play color commentary per se, but I hate the Fox broadcast. It's terrible as far as the 1-1 in the dirt. Good block by Smurf, 2-1. As far as being able to see things on the screen, that's why I always have a secondary one. And I always have it next to me anyways, but I rely on it during their broadcast. Two 2-1 count. Brings it. Swing and a miss. 97. Blew it right by him. Intercut on the knees. So a 2-2, 2 outs. Runner at second. Deuce is wild here in the top of the first. Schwellenbach comes set. His 17th offering of this inning, of this game. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Chase the splitter off the table, and that'll end the inning. Schwarber gets the double off the misplayed ball near the wall, but Schwellenbach shuts him down. We'll be back in a flash.
You know, I feel like I've been having problems forgetting lately, and that may be the case today because it seems like I got a lot of free time.
Hey Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What do you consider your job skills to be?
Skating.
Yep.
High-fiving.
Skating and high-fiving. 5.
Low-fiving.
Low 5, the antithesis of high 5. And
singing.
Singing. So, what you're basically saying is you could be in Starlight Express if they ever are bold enough to mount it again. You're off drugs now. You're totally clean.
I'm so clean, it's not even ridiculous.
The Kansas City Royals are the 1985 World Champions.
When you win a World Series, I don't care if you were Al Zate, the equipment manager, Joe Coronia, the guy that shined the shoes. Everybody in that locker room feels exactly the same as you do. And it is so powerful.
Does it feel like you thought it would?
Unbelievable.
You believe it?
And here's George Brett, the greatest hitter in baseball today. George, say hello to President Reagan.
Mr. Reagan. Listen, just congratulations for a great effort. All of you can be very proud.
Well, thank you very much.
Do you guys know where I could get one of those gold necklaces with a T on it?
That's a cross.
A cross from what?
Welcome back. Atlanta Braves, nothing. Philadelphia Phillies, nothing. Jesus Luzardo with the 7-3 record and a 4.09 ERA stands in. He's got a 5-pitch mix that you'll see tonight. The southpaw kicks and fires. First pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. is sawed off foul, back out of play. It's 0-1. He's got a 4-seamer 35% of the time. The sweeper, 27. Sinker at 20. Change at 19 is the 0-1 swing. Drops it down into right field, and we'll take that one. Kind of just a sawed-off shot towards right, and it's a leadoff single for your Atlanta Braves. Let's go, Braves country. Let's get it going early and often. We got some runs to repay on them tonight. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson.
Bravo.
Down in the dirt. Lefty-lefty matchup. It's 1-0.
Bravo.
Luzardo also has a slider at 10% and a change at 19. I don't think I mentioned those. The 1-0 swing. That ball's going to get sliced into left center field, and that's down for a base hit. And Ronald Acuna Jr. will go first to third. And we got runners on the corners and nobody out.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House.
Ice House. Smooth as it gets.
Braves got embarrassed last night. Look to be out on a mission tonight. It was a game that didn't start till almost 10 o'clock last night, finished well after midnight. Braves lost 13-0. Bryce Elder absolutely imploded. But I don't know if it's 100% on him. You get a pitcher hot, and then you stop him, and then 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later almost, you bring him back out to pitch as the first pitch on the way to Ozuna. It's fouled off and out of play. It's 0-1. That may be on the managers. And Rob Thompson, the manager of the Phillies, he sat his starter down and went to a bullpen game and shut us out. Though I believe is the 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. I believe a lot of that shutout had to do with the fact they were on top of Atlanta so quickly, they just knocked the entire oomph out of the lineup, and you could tell by the third inning they were going through the motions. The 1-1 count. Swing, chops it off his instep. It's 1-2. Luzardo coming in with that sweeper back-to-back. The 1-2. Runners on the corners. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Chase one in the dirt. Now they're going to say you got a piece of it just to stay alive. That was a bad swing regardless. Really bad swing, but thankfully he just got a piece of it. Well, with that sweeper down and in again, looks like he just got a stitch or so to stay alive. So the 1-2, runners on the corners, nobody out to pitch. Outside wide, 2-2. The 2-2. Zardo. Pitch on the way. Misses the zone entirely. Ball 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Caught looking strike three. Another caught looking backwards K for Marcell Ozuna. He'll wear that collar. One away. That was a bad at bat by Ozuna. He was kind of bailed out on a couple of the pitches that missed the zone. That was a bad at bat. Austin Riley, the batter, runners on the corners, one out. First pitch on the way, swung on. That ball's going to dribble through the infield, and it's going to be a run as it'll be an infield single. Austin Riley hits it against the grain, against the shift, and the Braves lead it 1-0.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
So an RBI single for Austin Riley is the first pitch to Ozzie Albies is a whiff. Swing and a miss at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball above the letters, over the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1. This is another cat that needs to take a seat for a night. Luzardo steps off the bump. Yeah, that broke a heck of a scoreless streak, didn't it, Willis? The 0-1 swung on, chopped over to short. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Ozzie Albies comes up, snake eyes once again. We'll be back in a flash. Tell me why he's hitting so high in the lineup.
Don't you love when you're listening to a really good song and it makes you think that you're really happy, and then it ends and you remember that you're not?
I got the right to defend myself. It's in the Constitution.
Have you ever read the Constitution?
Yes. No.
Quick, everyone tell me what the default jelly is for peanut butter and jelly, because my friend group is in a huge fight and I know I'm right and they're wrong and I have to go to work and I want to show this video to them tonight proving I'm right. So, tell me right now.
When it's 104 degrees in Texas, what do? You get yourself a redneck pool. Make sure you got a redneck woman with her butt hanging out. And you get in a pool just like this.
George without a World Series title is not the same as George with a World Series title. I mean, that's just the hard reality of sports. So yeah, everything kind of changed for him in that way in 1985.
There he is, Mr. Kansas City Royal.
Tell you a funny story. It came up, I made a lot of throwing errors. And whenever I'd make a throwing error, all these people sitting over here would just start screaming at me, you know? So all of a sudden I'm playing third base for 16 years. They brought up a young guy named Kevin Seitzer, play third base. So they moved me to first. I think it was opening day. He throws one in the dirt. I go to get it and I miss it. Everybody starts screaming at me at first. You gotta catch that ball. And I turned around and I said, did y'all f***ing move your seats from third base to first base just to give me Can't win. You can't win.
Dude, why are deliveries on a ship called cargo, but in a car, it's called a shipment?
Welcome back. Refresh the screen real quick for you as it was spinning, as it's known to do. Braves lead this 1-0, but should have had a lot more. That's been a trend for Tim Heyer's offense. Braves had a runners on the corners and nobody out and just got the one run out of it. First pitch on the way from Schwellenbach is a fastball just off the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. The 1-0. Right there. Up top for a strike. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch. Right there at the knees. 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 away. It's a shame we don't have a left-handed second baseman. We're talking about, I see a lot of folks talking about benching out Ozzie Albies. Luke Williams doesn't give you anything from the right side if a right-hander is on the mound. And Ozzie's really a much better batter from the right side. I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a disappointing at bat, but he's got good numbers against Luzardo. First pitch on the way to JT Real Muto is swung on and banged down the line foul. It's 0-1. So the problem is we don't have a left-handed stick that can play second base. You almost could have brought up Nacho Alvarez, but he can't stay healthy. The guy's back on the freaking IL. I think it's his oblique this time. I forget what they said it was. But anyways, he's back on the IL again down on the farm. But you almost wonder if it'd be worth starting Luke Williams at second base tomorrow versus another left-hander. Is the 0-1 swing. That ball is hammered over to third, right at Riley, an atom ball. 2 down. That ball was smoked. Riley had to do a little bit of self-defense, self-preservation as the ball came sizzling down the line. Good backhanded grab. We're quick out number 2. Schwellenbach now at 23 pitches. Bryson Stott, your batter. First pitch on the way. 97 off the dish. It's 1-0. But you almost wonder if Ozzie doesn't do anything tonight versus Luzardo, who he has good numbers with, is the 1-0. Down and in, 2-0. If it might be worth putting Luke at the second base position just to give him a day off to sit in the dugout and get a different view. The 2-0. 97 right on the outer edge, 2-1. I know they like to pride themselves in playing every day, but this isn't just this year. I've been saying this for a few years now. It's good for these players to take a day off because it refreshes them mentally. The 2-1. 98 at the knees. 2-2. 2-2 count. Bryson Stott just loves to work that zone, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Work that, baby. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves lead it 1-0. We need a heck of a lot more.
Time to wake up the neighborhood. Who needs a rooster when you have a pot?
Hey, Rookie!
You were good.
For those of you who have seen Field of Dreams, and for those of you who haven't, I'm going to tell you the story of Moonlight Graham. Archibald Wright Moonlight Graham was born on November 12, 1876 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Some say he got his nickname because of his speed. Others say he got his nickname because he moonlighted at a second job in the off-season. He played minor league baseball for 6 seasons until he finally got his chance in the big leagues with the New York Giants in 1905. On June 29th, he would finally make it into a game against Brooklyn at Washington Park. Graham would replace right fielder George Brown at the end of the 8th inning. Unfortunately for Graham, he never got a chance to bat. In the top of the 9th, he would be left in the on-deck circle when Claude Elliott flied out for the third out of the inning. He would play right field in the bottom half of the inning, but never recorded a putout or an assist. Soon after, he returned to the minors where he played until 1908. In 1908, he had to retire due to chronic respiratory problems. He never got another chance to play in the big leagues. In 1911, an American League scout found out he was playing semi-pro ball and asked him to join the Red Sox, but he declined the offer. After baseball, he became the Chisholm School Doctor in Minnesota for over 50 years. Sometimes he would take the students out to the field, where he would throw baseballs from home plate over the left field wall, a distance of 335 feet. In 1965, passed away at the age of 88.
Baseball sports are the streets and the lots in the old neighborhoods. We had to build the backstop. We had to build the mound. We had to put down the line. Actually, we had a saint of a man by the name of Joe Austin, a night manager in a brewery who was single, who had played semi-pro ball, and who was the godfather of baseball for this community. And he built the field, the players helping him. And we played there on weekends, had a very, very good team, even got uniforms after a while. And that's where I learned the game, and it was wonderful.
Welcome back. Braves lead it 1-0. We go to the bottom of the second. Start off with Sean Murphy facing Luzardo. Considering his struggles at the plate, I'm really surprised that Murphy wasn't above Ozzie Albies tonight. They get so concerned with that lefty-righty. What about good bat, bad bat? Like, how about we break those up? First pitch on the way to Murph is a swing and a miss. Outer edge, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-2. The 0-2 throws a slider in the dirt, 1-2. Braves scored on an infield single by Austin Riley. Ron Acuna Jr. came home to score. That was after Acuna and Olsen led off the game with back-to-back singles. The 1-2 off the plate, 2-2. Two-two to Murphy. Inside, did he go around? They checked down the line. He did not. Full count. Luzardo brings the payoff pitch. Swing! Bangs it down the line. Foul, third base side. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Just blew it right by him, 98 miles an hour. Good night, Irene. One away. One down. I saw some folks complaining on X last night because they wanted Murphy to get more at-bats. But where? Where do you get him more at-bats at? The first pitch on the way to Eli, swung on and fouled off. It's 0-1. The only thing you could possibly do is bench Marcell Ozuna. And I don't think that's necessarily the best thing to do unless he just needs a day off. The 0-1 down and away, 1-1. But to take more at-bats away from Drake Baldwin would be insane. 1-1, swing, chops it down the line, foul. Mark, if you're just joining us, just mentioned it a second ago. It was an infield single by Austin Riley that scored Acuna. The 1-2, high and outside, 2-2. Braves 1, Phillies nothing. Bottom of the second, Eli White, the number 7 hitter tonight, as Michael Harris takes the seat. The 2-2. Up and high and out of the zone. Ball 3-2. Even if he doesn't get on base here, he's already put on a better at bat. He's at least seeing some pitches. Standing on deck is Stuart Fairchild. The payoff in the dirt, ball 4. So the Book of Eli heads on down, and we'll see how this plays out.
Should be the ground for our sake. O thorns and thistles, it shall bring forth for us.
One on, one out. Speed on the base pass. Stuart Fairchild, who handles the bat well. He can drop bunts. Not that you're necessarily going to bunt Eli over with Nick Allen on deck, but here's the first pitch. Sweeper misses up top. It's 1-0. 1-0. Stuart Fairchild with a couple of base knocks last night, filling in for Acuna after the game was blown out. They're going to flip it over to first real quick to keep Eli close by. We'll go ahead and put the action cam on for you. The 1-0 up top, 96. Just hit the top of the zone. 1-1. One count. Luzardo looking over to first. Here's the pitch. Inside, 97, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Inside misses. Ball 3-1. So a 3-1 count, and you've got Nick Allen on deck, and he can move base runners over with the bunt as well. If he draws a bunt here, a walk, you could. Is the 3-1 swing, lifts it high and deep into right field, going back on the track. That ball's going to get off the wall. That ball's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Eli White flying around the bases. He will stop at third, and it is a one-out double. Run, child, that ball is Fairchild. What a base hit by Stuart Fairchild.
Hitting, not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity V in relation to the trajectory T, in which G, gravity, of course, remains a constant. It's not complicated.
That ball was smoked, and Castellanos is not a good defensive outfielder. But it's strange, when he plays the Braves, he turns into a Gold Glove candidate. It is the weirdest thing, whether it's been the postseason or the regular season. Typically, Nick Castellanos will botch that ball against anybody else, but he would have made a diving grab against the Braves. But that time, we got it past him. That wind is howling towards the right field corner, aiming towards the chop house, and that's where that ball was hit. Reminder that Jurickson Profar will be eligible to return this Wednesday. I've mentioned it before. I mentioned it in the last Braves Country Today, and I'm going to stick by it. I'm not convinced Stuart Fairchild is going to be released. First pitch on the way to Nick Allen is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I think he gives you a better defense. He gives you much better base running, and he's handling the stick okay. I don't know why you would keep Verdugo on. The 0-1 to Nick in the dirt, 1-1. You would think that you may be able to trade Alex Verdugo before Profar comes up for some kind of a bullpen or even just a journeyman starter, someone who needs a left fielder. Because I don't think Verdugo's just pointless of having him. Is the 1-1 inside 2-1. But I like Stuart Fairchild. He's so much faster than Verdugo. He can handle the bat with bunts, and he plays really good defense. The 2-1 count to Allen. The pitch inside 3-1. I am really surprised that Luzardo is painting and trying not just to go after Nick Allen. You've got Ronald Acuna Jr. on deck, runners on second and third and one out. You would think you would just be pounding the zone and making him beat you. The 3-1 count. Swing, pops it back, foul, full count. The infield is playing back and to the left. That tells you that Philadelphia believes in their offense, and they're trying to prevent a big inning. Atlanta typically early in the game like this, trailing by 1, they would have the defense moved in. The payoff pitch, swing, lifts it into left field. That's down for a base hit. 1 run will score Eli White, and here comes the second run. It's going to be close. They're going to have him. Bad send, play at the plate. He is out, but the Braves take a 2-0 lead. Have to see the replay there. If good piece of hitting by Nick Allen.
Hitting, not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the
looking at the
velocity
replay here,
the trajectory
yeah,
which
Freddie sent him,
of course,
but he had not hit the bag when the left fielder came up with the ball. Remember, Max Kepler used to be a right fielder. He's got an arm. That was a very strange send. Nonetheless, 1 on, 2 out. First pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. is a sweeper high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. I would have thought with the pitcher kind of on the ropes there, and I get it, Fairchild's got good speed, but he didn't get a great jump. If he's not at the bag, passing the bag when the outfielder has the ball in his hands, you've got to slam on the brakes and 1 out. First pitch on the way, down and in, 2-0. I don't hate it because I like being aggressive, especially because this team does not score runs, but it is an odd send in that specific, especially with Acuna coming up at the top of the order. The 2-0. Floats a sweeper just over the knees for a strike. It's 2-1. 2-1 count. Lefty-righty matchup. Olsen stands on deck to pitch. High and out of the zone. Ball 3-1. I don't think he would pitch around Acuna to get to Olsen here, putting a runner in scoring position, but he may be very selective what he does throw to him. The 3-1. Inside misses, ball 4. He will head on down to first. Get on down the road, baby. We got runners on first and second and 1 out, or 2 outs, excuse me.
Bravo! Bravo. Bravo.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Olsen 1 for 1. The first pitch. Swinging out of his shoes at a slider just out of the zone. It's over. Braves lead it 2-0. Man, a bases clearing double here would be beautiful right about now. The 0-1 swing, hits it hard on the ground. It's going to get over to Stott. Stott has to hurry, fires it to first, and he will get Olsen by about a step. Had a hard time getting it out of his glove, but a good play by Stott to stay with it. But out for your Atlanta Braves. Put one more on the board. It's 2-0, Atlanta. On this date, 1910, at Cincinnati's Palace of the Fans, Joe Tinker steals home twice, becoming the first major leaguer to accomplish the feat in the same game. The Cubs shortstop helped Chicago beat the Reds 11-1. Tinker was a famed name of his time in the famous poem that would become to be known as Tinker to Evers to Chance. On this date, 1939, at Shibe Park, Lou Gehrig receives a tremendous standing ovation from the Philadelphia crowd when he brings out the lineup card to the umpires before the second game of a twin bill. Philadelphia Athletics manager Connie Mack, who rarely leaves the dugout, goes to home plate to shake the terminally ill Yankee captain's hand. And on this date, 1976, at Tiger Stadium, Mark Fidrich known as the Bird, amuses Monday Night Baseball TV audience, talking to the baseball, grabbing the baseball, oddly gripping the baseball, and putting on a show when he one-hits the New York Yankees 5-1. The unsung Detroit rookie, who made the team on the final cut of spring training, will finish the season with a 19-9 record. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this day in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Spencer Schwellenbach to begin the top of the third inning. He swung on and chopped foul by Otto Kemp, who hit his first home run last night. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup, the 0-1. Down and away sinker, 1-1. 1-1 count. Schwellenbach brings it. Swing and a miss. 1-2. His over-under tonight for strikeouts in the desert, I believe they had it at 5.5 on a plus 110. I believe that's the last one that I saw. 1-2 count. Comes set. Fires it in there. Strike three. He got caught watching the paint dry. One away. One down, and that'll bring the number 9 hitter, Brandon Marsh. Schwellenbach, by the way, is up to 5 strikeouts already. First pitch on the way, swung on and sawed off foul. 97 miles an hour, right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Marsh batting .259 on the year. The 0-1 up top, 94 just misses. 1-1. He was very slow to turn away from that one. Marsh is looking to get hit. 1-1 count. Brings it. Swing and a miss, 1-2. 96 cutter. He's got it darting and diving all over the place tonight. The 1-2 from Schwelly. It is such a shame that Chris Sale got injured. He seems to be back, Schwelly. Strider seems to be hitting his stride. The 1-2, did he go around? The check down the line, he did not. Evens up the count. And Chris Sale was absolute magician by the time he was leaving. Most folks believe he'll come back sometime in the beginning of August, but man, that is a long time to go without your ace. The 2-2, chopped over to third. Riley's got it, brings it over to Olsen. 2 down. Schwellenbach, 37 pitches in, 2 down. That'll bring the top of the order back to the plate. Trey Turner had himself a night last night, including 2 homers. First pitch on the way. Swing. Slices it back foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss at the slider. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. Down and away. 1-2. Laid off the slider that time. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Man, oh man alive. It's Saturday night, and Schwellenbach's got himself a six-pack kicking. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Shout out to all those who can remember their childhood or teenage phone numbers and cannot even remember the passwords they made yesterday. You're my kind of people.
To stay a Brave, did you take a deal that, hey, I want to bring back Smoltz and Maddox and Glavine. I'm willing to take less in order to help the team do that?
Well, I was lucky that I never got to a spring training of a free agent year that I wasn't extended. I'm a firm believer that the grass is not always greener on the other side. I feel like whoever leaves the Braves clubhouse for free agency is not coming back. Once you're courted by big market teams and guys realize how much more money they can make, the Braves cannot compete with the big market club. I did not want to even have that temptation. I had Bobby Cox, I had John Sherholtz, I had a great roster throughout my whole career. I knew we were going to be competitive. I would have done anything, especially take a little less money to assure, you know, my future and that we were going to be competitive here in Atlanta. So I don't know that for a fact, but I probably took less than I would have made on the free agent market.
Program, Philly yearbook, scorecard lineup, let up scorecard.
75 after a great 1974 season was unusual. I did get off to a slow start.
Mike Schmidt's struggles in 1975 would persist for most of the first half of the season, and for the first time in his career, he became a target for the fans.
The fans at the vet, they don't want to hear about slumps. I remember the times where he got booed. I remember you stink. That negative stuff stays with you.
He's very sensitive. Everyone wants to be loved, and they were harsh. And I'm a Philadelphian, so I know what harsh is.
You know, you don't like it. It hurts. It hurts a lot. It feels like you've lost fan support. It feels like they don't care about you.
Marcell Ozuna set to start us off as the Atlanta Braves lead this 2-0 in the bottom of the third. First pitch on the way. 96 right down the pipe for a strike. Up top, it's 0-1. Lefty righty, the 0-1. 96 inside again, 0-2. 0-2 count. Zuna caught looking his last time up. The pitch to the Zoo. Down and in. Did he go around? They checked down the line. This time he did not. 1-2. The 1-2 from Luzardo, his 49th of the night. Swing, rips it into left field, and that's down for a base hit. Smokes it just past the diving Alec Boehm. Your Atlanta Braves have the leadoff runner once again. One on, nobody out. Hard hit ball into left field as the first pitch on the way to Austin Riley, who's already got an RBI. Is right there at the knees. It's 0-1. It was an infield single in the first. Hit it against the shift. As Stott was able to get to the ball, but he couldn't get it in time before Riley crossed the base and a run scored. The 0-1 misses outside wide, 1-1. Lefty-righty matchup, the 1-1 to Riley. Swing and a miss. He goes to that sweeper down and into these right-handers. Really plays tricks on him. Luzardo sitting at 2 strikeouts. The 1-2. Inside, almost got him in the foot. Just misses 2-2. 2-2 count. Runner at first, huge hole on the right side once again as they're playing him to pull in the infield. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Four-seam fastball, blew it right by him, about let her high. One away. One away, his third strikeout of the night, Luzardo. He's set to face Ozzie Albies. Ozzie Albies takes the first pitch, sweeper at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1, high and out of the zone. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, banged off the glove of Luzardo. He'll get Marcell Ozuna for the force out, but Ozzie Albies will be safe, so a fielder's choice in the books there. Ball just bopped off the glove of Luzardo. I'm not sure if they would have gotten Ozzie anyways, but you can't assume a double play, so there will be no error. Two down, and Sean Murphy comes to the plate. 0 for 1, first pitch on the way is a changeup. Down and in, it's 1-0. Murphy struck out swinging his first time up. He's got 9 home runs on the year. Remember, 7 of those came very quickly when he first came off the IL. The 1-0, down and in, ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 count. Braves lead it 2-0. Luzardo looking over at Ozzie, brings the pitch. Right there, change up, outer edge, 2-1. Trying to keep that ball on the ground with Smurf. Throwing a lot of off-speed pitch, but he will dial up. There it goes, swing and a miss, 96 up top, 2-2. Notice that when they do come up to Smurf, the aim is to come a little out of the zone so he'll pop it up. Because you got to keep the eyes darting back and forth, up and down. But you don't want to get him a fastball he can handle. The 2-2, down and in, full count. That ball almost got his foot. That bender's coming very close to hitting that back foot. Kind of like the way Charlie Morton used to hit the back foot of batters all the time. The payoff pitch. Swing, pops it up. Looks like it'll bend out of play behind home plate. It will. Did see that American Rebel beer is being sold here in Jacksonville. Those of y'all are going to meet us up in Atlanta. I might have some for y'all to sample. As Luzardo flips it over there to first. And the spot in Jack's where it's being sold nowadays is called Total Wine. The payoff pitch, swing, fouls it back. Do it once again. So a full count, Ozzie will be on the move once again. Anything that gets down into the gap should score. The payoff pitch, runner goes, caught, looking, strike three. You got to be kidding me. The backwards K is Tim Heyer's calling card. When we fire him, nobody hire him. We'll be back in a flash.
Therapist said I was a people pleaser, and I don't know how to tell her, like, where are these pleased people? She's not pleasing the peoples. There are no pleased peoples. Like, where?
Here's my interpretation of Diddy's lawyer in the courtroom. Your Honor, he was the bottom every time, I swear to God. 1,000 bottles of baby oil, he's got a persistent skincare routine. Hey, if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that Costco is a treat. Huh? Am I right? Your Honor, my client can't even use oil. He's got a peanut allergy.
I know you pay me a lot of money. What do you want me to say? I'm not the one who bought 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Your two goes a long way.
Your Honor, is this going on my record?
I went to go get my glasses today, and guess who I ran into? Everybody.
Hey, Frank, I'm giving this guy a handy under the table. Are you jealous?
She's mashing it.
She does that.
I'm very aroused. Very good.
What would we call you if you had a big thing?
Daddy.
Asleep, because you'd be dreaming.
It's like they don't understand how hard you were trying.
He cared deeply, and sometimes I don't think that resonated with the fans who were watching about how much he really cared.
He got to the point when he was having a hard time. We set up a batting cage kind of thing, very modest one in the garage, and he would be there till 3 in the morning.
It was never that Mike Schmidt didn't care, but that he cared too much.
Mike Schmidt was trying to defend his home run title. Maybe he was trying too hard.
Mike Schmidt wasn't just a thinker, he was an overthinker. The whole process of how he was going to go about an at-bat became the recurring plot line of Mike Schmidt's career.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way, swung on and hammered over to first. Olson's got it, flips it to Schwellenbach, who's covering the bag. One pitch, one out, and that's the best way to face Kyle Schwarber. One away here in the fourth. One down. They're showing some Braves fan in the, if you're following along on TV, they're showing some Braves fan doing the double chop. He's going crazy. I'm thinking he might have found American Rebel. First pitch on the way is a four-seam in the dirt. To Alec Boehm, it's 1-0. The 1-0 right there at the knees. Did not get the call, 2-0. Count. Fastball, top of the zone, 96 miles an hour, 2-1. Braves lead it 2-0. Schwellenbach sitting at 45 pitches. The 2-1 swing, slaps it down the right field line, but foul. 2-2. The 2-2. Swing, slices it foul again. We'll do it again. They're showing Ronaldo Lopez in the dugout. I haven't heard a single peep about him. Those of y'all listening over on Facebook and a couple other places, we're going to take it down after this half inning. The 2-2 called, looking strike three. 2 away. So if you want to continue in on the fun, jump on over to our YouTube, Braves Country Radio. A lot more folks in that chat, I guarantee you. First pitch on the way to Castellanos is a swing and a miss. Fastball strike, it's 0-1. Schwellenbach sitting at 7 strikeouts. The 0-1. Swing. Slices it down the right field side, but plenty foul. So if you took him on the over tonight, you've already surpassed that. It was 5.5 on a plus 110. The 0-2 count. Just don't think he gets quite the respect he deserves. That'll soon change on the books. The 0-2 from Schwelly. Looks into Castellanos. Set up outside. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Spencer Schwellenbach's got himself a snowman. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
So when I was young, I was hella poor, okay? But after years of hard work, I'm no longer young.
I would rather in my hands and clap.
One time I was at work and we had a new employee, and a couple months later she added me on Facebook and she came up to me and she said, "Hey, I just realized you're actually kind of not ugly because you wear makeup in your pictures on Facebook." I think about that till this day.
You know, if you ever met me, you'd think I was on medication. But if you ever got to know me, you'd wonder why I'm not.
Who knew that so much of adulting would be spent trying to keep yourself awake during the day and then also trying to get yourself to sleep during the night, all while just slowly getting worse at both?
Paralysis by analysis is such a great way to sum up Mike Schmidt's mentality and, as he called himself, a head case. Paralysis by over-analyzing to a point where you can't perform, you can't get the job done.
And that's the one thing I used to talk to Mike about all the time when he would start thinking about his hitting and all, about not to get too deep with it, just trust his work and his talent.
We're playing at Wrigley Field, and the wind, it had to be blowing 45 miles an hour, blowing out. And he's talking with Danny Ozark. And he says, "Hey, Danny," he says, "don't be afraid to put a hit and run on with me today, because it makes me stay in and hit the ball the other way." And I turned around and I said, "Mike, do you see that flag out there? You can hit a ball off your knuckles and it's going to go out. You got to pick another ballpark for a hit and run." As it turned out, he ended up hitting, I think he hit 3 home runs that day. But you're talking about over-analyzing and swinging everything. He felt he needed something to get him motivated and get going.
Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back. Atlanta Braves lead 2-0. That does not feel like enough after coughing up 13 last night, so we got to get to work. First pitch on the way to Eli White is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Eli walked his first time up. Lefty-righty matchup, the 0-1. 95 on the intercut. It's 0-2. Oh-2 count. The pitch. Did he go around? They checked down the first base line. They said he did. They only kind of half-hearted. I don't know about that one. Eli doesn't put up an argument there. 1 away. They're not showing a... Well, here comes the side angle. That's a bad angle. Finally, Fox shows it. It's an iffy call. Luzardo, the batter, first pitch swinging, bangs the sweeper down the left field line. It's 0-1. Standing on deck is Nick Allen. So if nothing else, you know you're going to clear the bottom of the order in this inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Change up, pulled the string on that one. It's 0-2. If you're over on Facebook, jump over here on YouTube as we are taking down the game here. The 0-2. Outside wide, 1-2. One-two count. Swing, chops it down the third base line. We'll do it again. Braves Country Radio over on YouTube as we say goodbye to Facebook for the night. The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide, good take, 96-mile-an-hour fastball just off the plate. 2-2. The 2-2 from Luzardo. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Might have been caught look. He may have held up on it, but nonetheless, the pitch was 97 miles an hour right down the inside part of the plate. Quickly 2 down. 2 away, and that'll bring Nick Allen to the plate. Braves lead it 2-0. First pitch on the way to Allen, swings at it and fires it back foul. It's 0-1. Allen 1 for 1 on the night. Singled to left, got an RBI when Eli White came home to score. Back in the second, the 0-1. High and out of the zone, 0-2. Luzardo, by the way, we're here in the 4th inning. He is at 76 pitches. That is incredibly high. The 1-1 to Allen. Bender just misses outside wide, 2-1. Really want Nicky to take until he gets that second strike, try to run that pitch count up. Braves 2, Philly nothing, bottom of the 4th. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Braves. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. Philly has 1 base hit. That was the double off the wall from Schwarber, or near the wall. You make the argument we could have a no-no going if Eli played that smarter. The 2-2 pops it up high into center field, but not very deep. Captain Caveman will come in to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Braves go down in order. We'll be back in a flash as Schwelly goes back to work with a 2-run lead.
Oh, man, you Mike, don't shut up. Oh, you shut your ass up. Let's go.
Lesbians. While often lumped together, gay men and lesbians have less in common than one might think. I am so sorry we have to meet like this, but I'm sure you can understand as parents the instinct to protect your child.
Yeah, it's what makes me want to punch you in the neck right now.
Enough. I want you and your kids to have a family play date. Maybe if the 4 of you can get along, you can set a better example for your children.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Fine. We'll host, obviously.
Obviously?
Well, I assume you have an unfinished woodworking project at your house.
You've got a lot of nerve.
Yeah, and you've got half a canoe in our living room.
I look forward to your frittata.
Oh, why? Are you visiting us in 2008?
He took the game so seriously. It was almost tunnel vision, so that he had to tune out me, the fans, everything, in order for him to be as good as he felt he should be.
In my opinion, paralysis from analysis, I think analysis and adjustments and the thinking that I did, I think allowed me to become the player that I became. The last half of the season in 1975, I got really hot, and I did hit enough home runs to lead the league. My RBIs were down into the 90s, I believe. That's a pretty good feat in itself.
The following year, Schmidt again got off to a slow start at the plate. This time, it would be veteran teammate Dick Allen who helped him come out of it.
I had been in a really cold spell. It was in mid-April, so fairly early in the season. And Dick Allen, he kept me back in the clubhouse as the team went on the field. And Dick told me, let's have some fun out there. Let's smile more. Let's try to relax. You know, it's just a game. Surely I didn't play the game with that kind of an attitude until that day. I went out there and I hit a home run. And then I hit a home run. And then I hit a home run. And then I hit a home run.
Here's Mike Smith. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. And Mike Smith has drilled his 4th straight home run.
Your home with a classic called Braves Country Baseball. Top of the 5th we go. Schwellenbach fires the first pitch. It's a swing and a miss strike. To the left-handed bat, Max Kepler, it's 0-1. Kepler struck out in the second, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt, 0-2. 0-2 count. Braves lead it 2-0. We're in the top of the 5th. Game time tomorrow, 1:35 first pitch. We'll come on the air about 1 o'clock, and it's Spencer Strider versus Ranger Suarez. That should be one heck of a pitching duel. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smoke him if you got him, because he got him. That is number 9 on the day for Schwelly. 1 down. One away. First pitch on the way is a slider at the knees to Real Muto. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Slider, 0-2. 0-2 count. Real Muto steps out of the box and digs back in. Braves 2, Phillies nothing. 56 pitch is in for Schwellenbach. Caught looking. He got the hammer on the outer edge. Slider, 2 down. Number 10 on the night for Schwellenbach. Real Muto didn't like it, but it would definitely hit the zone. There is no doubt about that one. You normally don't see catchers complain like that because they want the same calls. Bryson Stott, the batter, first pitch on the way. Swing, pops it up high and deep into left field, drifting underneath it, making the catch is Stuart Fairchild, and that'll end the inning. Braves send the Phillies down in order. 1, 2, 3. We'll be back in a flash. 2-0. Let's get some insurance, Braves country.
So this guy named Marco finally talks his wife into going to Marathon, Florida on a fishing trip for their 20th anniversary. This is the last thing that she wants to do for a wedding anniversary because she's over the whole fishing hobby. But she says okay. So he's out grabbing bait at the bait store when he gets accosted by this particularly shabby homeless man who says to him, "Sir, can I please have $10 to buy some food? I'm starving." He takes one look at him and he says, "You gonna buy beer with this $10? He says, no, sir, I gave up drinking years ago. You gonna buy bait with this?" He goes, "No, sir, I don't have time to fish anymore. I'm just trying to stay alive." And he goes, "Are you gonna buy hunting gear with this?" He goes, "Sir, I'm in Marathon, Florida. Where would I even hunt? No, I just want to get a burger." So he looks at him and he goes, "I'm gonna do one better for you. I'm gonna bring you home with me and you're going out to a fancy dinner with me and my wife tonight." And he goes, "Sir, won't your wife be furious about this?" He goes, Yeah, she will. But I think it is really, really important that she see what happens to a man who gives up drinking, hunting, and fishing.
Mike Smith has drilled his 4th straight home run.
That turned out to be one hell of a day for me, and in terms of the Phillies, I think we won like 50 out of the next 63 ball games from that day on in 1976.
He'd go on to have another all-star season, and the Phillies would stay hot all summer long, looking to reach the postseason for the first time since the 1950 Whiz Kids. They had a 15-game lead at the end of August, but a slump shrunk it to just 3 by the middle of September. That slump agitated the fans, and no one was free from their wrath.
I remember one time someone was behind me and saying, "That Schmidt's wife, boy, is she ugly." And I do believe at that time I was pregnant, which is like hormones are an all-time high. I mean, people are very cruel when they want to be.
Welcome back. Braves lead it 2-0. Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to lead us off here. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 89-mile-an-hour changeup. Good pitch by Luzardo. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there at the knees. Just missed. Looked like the same spot. 1-1. So 1-1 count. pitch up top, misses high, 2-1. To be fair, both of those pitches, the last two balls, hit the bottom of the zone and the top of the zone, about half the ball in each. They can't both be balls. One of them's got to be a strike. Your home plate umpire tonight is Jeremy Rehak. The 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, ball 3-1. Luzardo at 83 pitches. If the Braves can have a long inning here, they'll knock him out of the box. The 3-1 misses high, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. And your Atlanta Braves got the leadoff runner on once again.
Bravo.
Only other game going on right now is the Cubs and the Astros. 7-2 in the fourth.
Bravo.
Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way is 95 mile an hour. Sinker right across the chest. Over the plate, it's 0-1. Matt Olson, 1 for 2 on the day. The 0-1. Brings it. Sweeper off the plate. Evens up the count at 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Sinker off the edge. It's 1-2. One-two to Olson as he stepped out of the box for a second. Standing on deck is the Big Zoo. The 1-2. Looks in, brings it. Swing. Slices it foul and out of play. Left field side, well over the third base dugout. The 1-2. Zard will step off the bump for a second and reset. Count as one of his moves. One on, nobody out. Acuna standing over at first base, excuse me. The 1-2 to Olson. Down and away, 2-2. Another pitch. They're trying to get him to chase off that plate. You got to figure at some point they might be setting him up to bust him inside. Huge hole. Rather strange, but a pretty good size hole on the right side of the infield as the Phillies are playing almost at second base, almost a true double play position. Normally they're cheating over to the right, but the 2-2, swing, slices it foul, will do it again. It's another indication that they're pitching away from him. They're not expecting him to hook anything. 2-2 count. Luzardo, by the way, he's now at 90 pitches. Pitch on the way, swing, slices it towards left field. It'll get down where the green grass grows. It's going to jump over the wall, and it is a double for Matt Olson. Probably saved a run, to be honest with you, as that ball jumped over the wall after it bounced hard, and your Atlanta Braves.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House. Ice House. Smooth as it gets.
We'll have runners on second and third and nobody out, and that'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna taps one back to the mound and really quickly gave up that at bat. That was another bat at bat by Ozuna. He'll be tagged out by the pitcher, one away. And he's just giving at bats away. Last several games, it's not a good answer either because Riley's not really batting that well, but you can make the argument that this series, at least Riley has earned the right to be batting third and move Ozuna back. Unfortunately, as the first pitch on the way to Riley is slider down and in. It's 1-0. Really can't keep playing the game of moving guys up and down. I mean, they just got to do their job. It's terrible at bat. The infield is in, so anything that he hits hard here, Riley could get through. The 1-0. Swing and a miss at a sweeper around his shoe tops. It's 1-1. Braves with another golden opportunity. They've had them all night long, but we've only scored the 2 runs. 2-0 your score. The pitch, 96 inside. Off the plate, but called for a strike. 1-2. Riley didn't like the call, but to be honest, that's a pitch that he could drive to left field and get a run in. The 1-2. Up top, caught looking, strike 3. Another backwards K. You got to swing the bat, son. You got 2 strikes on you. He wants to argue with the umpire, but it's right there in the zone. It hit majority of the strike zone, and even if it was a touch high, it's too close to take. They're being too precise. Bad at bats. So it's up to Ozzie Albies. First pitch swing, and he'll dribble it over to third. Another bat at bat, fires it over to first base, and that'll end the inning. Braves go down in order after Matt Olson and Ronald Acuna are the only 2 offensive weapons we have. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Give me a phrase that somebody born after the year 2000 wouldn't understand.
Stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Hold on, let me go check my encyclopedia.
Is it in the white pages or yellow pages?
Hey, call me after 6. My minutes are free.
You gotta put it on channel 3.
It's my money, and I need it now. Please don't text me. It costs me a dime every time.
Y'all, this really took me off her top 8. Like, after everything we've been through, she's just gonna remove me from her top 8. Like we weren't ever friends. Like,
look at this girl. What's her story? She's got a decent bone structure. She was probably very pretty when she was young. Yeah. Probably spent her summers here, lounging on the beach and scooping ice cream.
but she didn't want her summers to end, so she got herself a fake ID and a push-up bra and started hanging out at the local bars.
Right. Developed a nasty coke habit because she loved the way it made her feel. And extreme highs gave way to extreme lows, and she fell into a depression.
Had herself a kid. Thought it would give her a sense of purpose, and it did for a while, till she started using again.
And then social services came knocking at the door. Now the kid lives upstate with his grandparents because she can't take care of this kid. And here she is, festering away in a 1-bedroom apartment, waiting for the HIV to turn into AIDS, and wondering what the hell.
You know I can hear you, right?
By the late 80s, George Brett was approaching the twilight of his career. The hits still came, and the average stayed high, but years of wear and tear were taking their toll. And after a slow start to 1990,
strike 3 call.
Questions began to surface about whether Brett's career was approaching its end.
Boy, that's about as upset as I have ever seen George Brett.
He's 37, the body is breaking down. You know, his first half was the sort of bad that makes you think, oh, this is over.
He is thinking very seriously about retiring.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Schwellenbach is a sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. Great outing by Schwellenbach. The 0-1. Swing, lifts it over towards third. Riley scoops it off the carpet, fires it over to first. It's a 5-3 put out. 1 away. You're just joining us. Good to see you, Goat. If you're just joining us, Braves offense, no bueno. Acuna came home to score at the run on an infield single from Riley. Eli White scored a run after a single from Nick Allen as the first pitch on the way to Marsh is off the plate wide. Slider misses. It's 1-0. But the Braves have had golden opportunity after golden opportunity, including last inning when Acuna and Olsen stood at second and third, nobody out, is the 1-0. Ripped into right. That's down for a base hit. And it's the first base hit since the first inning for the Philadelphia Phillies. 1 out single. After Acuna and Olsen get on, first and second, nobody out. Ozuna dribbled one right back to the pitcher after an excuse-me swing. Riley was caught looking, and then Ozzie just gave away an at-bat. First pitch on the way to Trey Turner is slapped down the right field line, just foul. It's 0-1. That's how quickly this Philadelphia offense can get on you. Schwellenbach has been dealing. He's got 10 strikeouts through 5 1/3, but the tying run stands at the plate and Trey Turner, who had 2 home runs last night. The 0-1. Smurf sets up inside. Schwellenbach brings it. Sinker down and away. 1-1. Schwelly just at 64 pitches, so he's doing very well on that note. The 1-1. Try to get him to chase a splitter again. 2-1. So he's falling behind Trey Turner. Standing on deck is Schwarber. They can change this game in a hurry. Righty, the 2-1. Try to get him to chase again. Nibbling. And now he's backed himself into a corner. The 3-1 count. They set up inside. Swing pops it up. Will it stay in play? Olsen underneath it for a big out, number 2. Can of corn just past the infield dirt. First base side near foul territory. And that'll bring Schwarber to the plate, who has 25 home runs. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Down and in, slider misses. It's 1-0. Yeah, Adam, that's been one of the problems. I mean, the only 2 guys that are really swinging the bat well consistently is Acuna and Olsen. 1-0. Snaps a slider in at the knees. It's 1-1. Schwellenbach, 25 home runs on the year. That's not odd for him. But batting .248, that's really high for him considering is the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider. Man, he's got that working tonight. 1-2. Normally, Schwarber is battling with the Mendoza line. He's having a heck of a year across the board. This Phillies team, who's got a lot of free agents going into next year, trying to make one last run with the guys they got. The 1-2. Runner goes, throw down to second base, will not be in time. Brandon Marsh steals that with ease. So he's into scoring position. Second time the Phillies have had someone in scoring position. That was a bad throw by Murph, but a tough pitch to throw on. Kind of ballooned it out to the right side. Good job by Allen to keep it from going to the outfield. It was a bender down and in. Hard pitch to throw on. The 2-2, nowhere near the zone, full count. Standing on deck is Bohm. He would represent the go-ahead run, tying run at the plate. Schwarber looking into Schwellenbach. Schwellenbach looking into Murphy. Brings it. Swing. Chops it down the first base line, but foul. Just went foul. That would have got us out of the jam. Cubs all over the Houston Astros tonight, 8-2. The payoff pitch from Schwelly. In the dirt, ball 4. He'll head down to first. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. And that'll bring Alec Bohm to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but batting .291 on the year. First pitch on the way. Swing, chops it up the middle. Diving attempt by Allen, and that's going to be a run. Here comes Marshome. He'll score, and the throw gets away. It bounces off towards the dugout. Luckily, that ball did not go into the dugout. A bad throw by Eli White. He almost made matters worse. He really did make them worse by putting the go-ahead run up to second base. A dumb throw by Eli White. He was not going to get Schwarber on that play. Schwarber was going around. Even a perfect throw's not going to get him. The fundamentals for the Braves this year have been awful. Riley tried to get over there to snag it, but it took a flat hop and went under his glove. First pitch to Castellanos, way outside wide. It's 1-0. Braves up against the wall here. Been cruising, but the offense doing nothing. The 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Castellanos. Swing, lifts it high and deep. Into right field. Coming in, making the catch is Ronald Acuna Jr. That'll thankfully get us out of the inning. But not before the Atlanta Braves cough one up, and it's a 1-run lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Someone other than the top 2 have got to get some base knocks. Let's go, Braves country.
I just found out something super exciting. Before you go to any of your holiday meals, guess what? Telling people to f off is gluten-free.
AC/DC makes me think of Back in Black, but the battle between AC and DC was full of legitimate, dirty deeds done dirt cheap. The War of the Currents was waged largely between 2 men, Thomas Edison and his former employee, a quirky Serbian immigrant named Nikola Tesla. Tesla was a proponent of alternating current, but Edison had already invested heavily in his direct current system and had major money backers to answer to. Tesla stormed out, and George Westinghouse, Edison's chief rival, jumped at the chance to buy Tesla's AC patents. After a long and dirty propaganda effort, complete with lawsuits, patent stealing, corporate takeovers, and the invention of the electric chair, the current war was over. Edison had won, except he didn't. Against his wishes, the Edison General Electric Company would wind up adopting alternating current, validating his rival Tesla, and after mergers with the likes of J.P. Morgan, Edison not only lost direct current, but his company dropped his name as well, becoming General Electric. As for Tesla, he died penniless, but his remaining work was seized by the FBI and given for analysis to an MIT scientist named John G. Trump, whose nephew is,
When I was younger, I used to go to concerts and stuff that started at 8 p.m., but now I don't because that is the middle of the night.
I eat like string beans and green peas.
Pasta?
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
Chicken, steak, all the regular stuff.
Yeah, all
no
regular.
Seafood though?
No, I'm allergic.
At the vet, where the cars were parked, we'd have to walk up this long tunnel and we'd be exposed to the fans. And Mike, he was the lightning rod of everything in Philadelphia. So people said some terrible things.
Back then, ball players parked in a parking lot that was accessible to people. And it was a game every night, how we escaped the park without everybody seeing us. And we would go up some stairs in the boiler room or some crazy stuff. And I think the escape artist in us back then was sort of, what are we going to do tonight?
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Braves lead by just 1 now after Schwellenbach coughed up 1 run. Almost much worse with the throw almost into the dugout. We got lucky. It bounced off a rail next to the dugout to keep it in play. Joe Ross comes in to pitch. So we'll take that white flag. Joe Ross, we've gotten to him several times. Comes in with a 5.35 ERA. Hopefully we can get to him again. He has been all over the league. I'm surprised the Braves haven't had him in camp. Sean Murphy, the batter, first pitch on the way, swings, sizzles it towards right. Ball's going to get over the head of Castellanos. It's downward Green grass grows. Here comes Murphy to second. He'll slide in, and he's safe.
Smurf is me. I must call an emergency meeting.
A very Smurfy double off the right field wall.
Don't try to fool me.
Good hard hit ball roasted over the head of Castellanos. That'll bring Eli White to the plate. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Fastball up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it, swing and a miss. Slider, down and away, 0-2. Count. Braves lead it just by 1. We got a runner in scoring position, and Sean Murphy at second with nobody out. The 0-2. Swing and just got a piece of it. Should never have swung at that. That thing was way off the plate. Guess there goes our answer. I thought maybe when they bring a right-hander in, they might bring Harris in to hit for White, but they did not. The 0-2. Swing, hits it up the middle, but right at Trey Turner. Turner's got it, flips it to first. Easy 6-3 put out, 1 away. 1 down. Fairchild, the batter. Stuart Fairchild. 1 for 2 on the day. Thank you for the contribution, Taco. First pitch on the way to Verdugo is inside for a strike. It's 0-1. So Verdugo set to play in left field, or they could be doing another switch and put Harris in for Verdugo. The 0-1 misses high, 1-1. I would tend to think if you got a close game at the end of this one, you're going to put Michael in center. You're going to slide Eli to left because no matter what we say about his bat, his glove is still one of the best in the game. The 1-1, swing and a miss, slider inside, 1-2. I don't think this is necessarily a great decision either because Stuart Fairchild's been swinging the bat pretty decently. You can't say that for Verdugo. 1-2 count. Inside 95 almost gets him. Man, when you're hitting like Verdugo, you got to lean into that, baby. I know it's easier said than done, but you got to take one for the team. 2-2 count. You move that line down just one more step closer to Acuna. The 2-2. Instead, he swings it to slider inside. Call it 4 inches in off the plate. Strike 3. I'm telling you, that's got to be the guy that gets released. I want to see Fairchild stay with the Braves. Verdugo, he had his time in the sun, but he is just awful. He swings at things that are just nowhere near the zone. You can't have that for a guy that you're basically coming off the bench to pinch hit. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss by Nick Allen. It's 0-1. Allen singled in the second inning. Braves lead by just 1. Giving very little room for error for Schwellenbach in the bullpen. Murphy still sitting at second. The 0-1. Chops the slider, foul. It's 0-2. I don't know. If I'm Ross, I'm not throwing another pitch. I'm just throwing him sliders till he strikes himself out. Both of those pitches have been down and away. And if you're Nicky, you got to be looking for that. The 0-2 count. They set up high. In the dirt. Near the dirt. 96 off the plate. 1-2. That might just be a setup pitch for the 1-2. 1-2 count. Ross comes set, brings it. Outside wide, 2-2. Trying to get him to chase. All four pitches are down and away in the bottom part of the zone. The 2-2. Really surprised they didn't bring back that slider on that 1-2. Pitch to Allen. There it goes. Good take this time, full count. You can't imagine he wants to see Acuna come to the plate. Rain is starting to fall here in Atlanta. I don't believe they had enough where it was going to interrupt play, but I'll have to pull up the radar at the next break. The payoff pitch. High and out of the zone, ball 4. So Nicky will head on down to first.
Hitting? Not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity V in relation to the trajectory T, in which G, gravity, of course, remains a constant. It's not complicated.
Ronald Acuna Jr., your batter. He's 1 for 1. The single and 2 walks. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Acuna. Outside wide, slider misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Down and in. 2-0. They were shooting for up top. That ball way below the zone. Standing on deck is Matt Olson. Braves 2, Phillies 1. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. 95 in on his hands. It's 2-1. Took a good hack at that one. Kind of surprised he missed. Two 2-1 count. Murphy at second, but there are 2 outs, so he'll be running at the crack of the bat. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Blowing it right by him up top. 2-2. Didn't think that was possible. They have gone 2 consecutive. You almost think he may be sitting on an off speed the way he's been so far behind on that. The 2-2. He's been going to that slider off the edge to the right-handers when he gets the 2 strikes. And see what he does here. Steps off the bump for a second. Count as one of his moves. Deuces wild, bottom of the 6th. 2 on, 2 out. A 2-2 count. Braves lead it 2-1. The pitch from Ross in the dirt. Did try to get him to chase outside wide. That time with the curveball. Full count. So the runners now will be on the move, which means anything that gets down towards the gap could score 2. Full count to Acuna. Olson standing on deck. Ross comes set. The payoff pitch. Brings it. Misses high, ball 4. They're calling that a strike. That is ridiculous. Ridiculously bad call. Rehack. Ridiculously bad call. Oh, wait a minute. Well, it's not going to matter on the call, but we actually see some life from Snicker. He's actually arguing from the dugout. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
just ever look at snakes and be like, Lieutenant Dan!
Suspect's laugh so intense we had to invest in waterproof furniture.
Suspect's been spotted wearing the same shirt for 3 damn days.
Suspect's morning hair is so wild even the birds are jealous of that nest.
Shut up. Suspect claims to be on a diet, but he hasn't had a salad in 3 weeks.
Suspect's idea of foreplay is saying, all right, let's get this over with.
Yeah, because I want to eat dinner.
Oh, they're flying the tiny instruments in from El Paso.
El Paso. I spent a month there one night.
We are a generation that will never come back. A generation that walked to school and then walked back. A generation that did their homework alone to get out ASAP to play in the street. A generation that spent all their free time in the streets with their friends. A generation that collected sports cards. A generation that made paper toys with their bare hands. A generation who bought vinyl albums to play on record player. A generation that played board games and cards on rainy days. A generation whose TV went off at midnight after playing the national anthem. A generation that is passing, and unfortunately, it will never return no matter how hard we try. I loved growing up when I did. It was the best of times. We are a generation that will never come back.
One night, Mike looks at me and he goes, will you go get my car and pull it up? Because I don't want to walk out in front of all those people. I just want to get my car and go home. And I looked at him and I said, Mike, you know I'm an all-star too. And he sort of looked at me like, oh yeah, I did go get his car. And I brought it, he got in it, and then I went and got my car. And we went and we had something to eat. But Mike wishes he could, after the game was over, tunneled underneath his home to Media PA, wherever he's living, come up, be in his house, because that's just who Mike was.
Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the country club today. Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Max Kepler is bang foul down the right field line. It's 0-1. The 0-1 up top, splitter for a strike, 0-2. 0-2 count. Schwellenbach delivers. Swing, dribbles it over to second. Should be an easy 4-3 put out. It is. One away. Schwellenbach 80 pitches in. So as long as it's not a long inning, he should get through the 7th here. If it's a quick enough inning, they may run him out there for the 8th and then leave it up to Dylan Lee in the 9th. Verdugo is in left field. Real Muto, the batter, first pitch on the way is a hanging curveball taken for a strike on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Real Muto, 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Schwellenbach with 10 of them tonight. The 0-1 swing, fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Braves lead it 2-1. The 0-2. Try to get him to chase that slider down and away. 1-2. The 1-2. Try to get him to chase that slider once again. Ball 2, 2-2. He went with the same pitch 2 times in a row, and JT wasn't biting. The 2-2 count. Swing, pops it up, foul. Slider for a 3rd time in a row. You got to figure at some point you're going to have to change that up. You keep giving the major league hitter the same pitch over and over again. He's either going to spit on it or slam it. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went with the slider again. How about that? 2 down. His 11th punchy. This is his 4th game of the year with double-digit strikeouts. That matches the Major League Baseball high, tying him with Logan Webb, Tarek Skubal, some guy by the name of Chris Sale, Reagans, and Luzardo, tonight's opponent. along with Garrett Crochet. First pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Bryson Stott. It's for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 takes it right down Main Street for a strike. Curveball, 1-1. 1-1 count. Swing. Fouls it straight back into Sean Murphy. 1-2. Appears to be okay, but home plate umpire The Hack is going to dust off home plate. The 1-2. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got himself a dozen. How about Schwelly? We'll be back in a flash. Could somebody get the man some insurance? Good Lord.
So I just got pulled over. I was doing about 70 and a 55. And this cop, he asked me, he said, you know why I pulled you over? I said, no clue. So he said, he's going 74 and 55. He said, let me have your driver's license. I said, I ain't got none. He said, what about registration? I said, I ain't got none of that either. He said, well, how come? I said, I don't know, but don't open that glove box. I got a pistol in there, and I just shot my husband. He's under that tarp in the back of the truck. This joker runs back, and next thing I know, there's cops everywhere, and the big dog walks up to me, and he goes, ma'am, can I see your driver's license? I handed it to him. He said, what about your registration? Gave him that. He said, open up that glove box. I did. There wasn't nothing in it. And tars under the tarp. He said, my deputy called me and told me that you didn't have no license or registration and a dead man and a pistol, I don't know what all. And I said, I bet you that lying son of a gun told you I was speeding too, didn't he?
And the fans feel like they know you and they want to get to know you. And I think that was probably the one strike against Mike. He didn't want them to get to know him. He wanted to just be great at baseball.
In the end, the Phillies would hold on to win the NL East title in 1976 with a franchise record 101 wins, and Schmidt leading the National League in homers for a 3rd straight year and winning his first Gold Glove. But in the championship series, the Phillies were outclassed by the reigning World Series champs, Cincinnati's Big Red Machine.
Shot for right side. Here comes Concepcion. And the 1976 pennant belongs to the Reds. The Reds have scored 3 in the 9th inning and have swept the Philadelphia Phillies.
Although we got beat in the playoffs by the Cincinnati Reds, 76, we might have had one of the best Philly teams ever. Unfortunately, we disappointed our fans in the postseason, as well as us.
Welcome back. Braves lead at 2-1. 7th inning stretch. Wouldn't load, so we'll do it in the next inning. Spencer Schwellenbach. I don't know if his day is done or not. He's got 90 pitches. It looks like he's getting handshakes. Man, I just don't trust anybody else out there. First pitch on the way. 97 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. He looks like he's a guy whose day is done. So I guess they're going to turn it over to Iglesias and then Dylan Lee, the 0-1. 97 at the knees. 1-1. Saw Iron Lung say that this season has given him a couple of gray hairs. It's the 1-1. Chop foul 1-2 that we need a gem to win it. Man, I've got a couple of hairs left that aren't gray. I mean, this team will put you through it. The 1-2 count. 97 off the plate. 2-2. Romano is the new pitcher, the right-hander. Braves let them escape with putting Joe Ross out there in the 6th. Now they're heading towards the back of the pen. The 2-2. Swing, slices it foul. Braves lead at 2-1, but man, can we need some insurance right now. The 2-2. Romano flips it up there. Swing, pops it up. Lazy fly ball into left field, one down. One away, and Marcell Ozuna moves to the plate. Riley to the on-deck circle. Braves 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Philly 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Atlanta Braves also have drawn 4 walks. So they just haven't come through once again in the clutch. First pitch on the way to Ozuna. Outside wide. It's 1-0. I don't have it in front of me, but it seems like it's been 6 years since he's hit a home run. It is Iglesias warming up in the bullpen. The 1-0. Hits it hard through the hole. That'll be a base hit. A single for the Big Zoo. And at least that'll get something going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 on, 1 out. Good hit by Ozuna in between the 5-6 hole. Austin Riley, your batter. First pitch on the way, down and in. 1-0. You know, you can make a strong argument that when Ozuna gets on in the 7th inning or later, because of his lack of power here recently, that you're almost better off pinch running. The 1-0. Swing and a miss at a slider. It's 1-1. I know it'd be tough to take him out of that lineup because you have so few bats that are doing anything, but he gets on like that. I mean, it's tempting. I'd be hard-pressed not to. 1-1 count. Inside 2-1. Marcell Ozuna in the month of June has just 2 home runs. The 2-1. 95, outer edge, 2-2. Marcell Ozuna's OPS is under 600 in the month of June. 2-2 count brings it. Swing, that ball sizzled up the middle. That'll get through for a base hit. Ozuna will go station to station. We've got runners on first and second with 1 out.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Since that injury to his hip, he's just gotten progressively worse on the power numbers, and you've got 5 home runs in April, 4 home runs in May, and just 2 in June. Ozzie Albies, your batter. First pitch on the way. Misses up top. It's 1-0. He continues to draw walks, and he continues to get some base hits here and there. But all in all, it's not where we're used to having him, and I'd say a lot of it has to do with that injury. The 1-0. Swing, hits it on the ground, and it's going to dribble through the hole. I believe they're going to have to hold Ozuna. So once again, had you pinch ran for Ozuna, you'd have a run on the board. And it's going to have to take a really deep fly ball to score him from third. But we do have runners on all over the bases. The bases are juiced. Pitching coach Caleb Gotham is coming out there to talk to his pitcher, Romano. Ducks all over the pond. Marcell Ozuna, by the way, our click did clack. It's his second hit, his second base of the night, so that's the definition that we give it here. But they went out there to talk to Romano, and they're going to be looking to get him to swing at something towards the dirt. It's Sean Murphy, and the bases are loaded. First pitch on the way. Swing! That ball's blasted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lama ding-dong. A grand salami for the Smurf.
Smurfs, where are you? I must call an emergency meeting.
Oh, there he is.
Smurf is me. I'll be right there. Don't try to fool me.
A hanger, a banger.
Murphy.
That was a mighty smack over the track, and your Braves have jumped out to a 6-1 lead. So Ozuna's speed did not come into play, nor did Murphy's. That's one way to get out of it. First pitch on the way to Eli White is a four-seam fastball in. It's 1-0. Thank you for the contribution, Taku. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, swing, fists it towards, heading towards center field, but it doesn't have enough gas on it. Trey Turner will get underneath it. F6 in your scorecard, 2 down. Romano, he hung his head. I mean, the moment he hit that, he had that look on his face like, God, dog it. I hope someone moved that foul pole about 100 yards to the right. Get the numbers for you now. They don't give us the numbers like they do normally. Fox does a bad job with everything when it comes to that. That was 455 feet for his 10th home run of the year. Second career grand slam. First pitch on the way to Verdugo. It's now a 1-1 count after the first strike. The 1-1. Swing, chops it foul. 1-2. One-two count. Now you've got eyeglasses in the bullpen, and he'll definitely come in now. The 1-2. Swing. Slaps it towards left, but it's going to be right at Kepler, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 4 on the board. Grand salami. Get up and stretch, y'all, even though it's a half inning late.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. All one. A 2. A 3. Me out to the ball game. Hey, me out to the side. Find me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back on the street. Root for the
Welcome back, Braves country. Atlanta Braves lead this one 6-1. Tomorrow's not going to be an easy one either. We're going up against Ranger Suarez. He has always pitched Atlanta well, even when he struggles. And he's not been struggling recently, but even when he struggles, he pitches Atlanta well. Roswell Iglesias will come to the mound. First pitch on the way is a 94-mile-an-hour sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. Iglesias really taking over one of the setup roles. The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves in the City connects tonight. As the 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2. If need be, what the Braves still have on their bench would be Luke Williams, Drake Baldwin is the 1-2. Way outside wide. Kemp lays off it. 2-2. And of course, Michael Harris. The 2-2 count. Swing, lifts it to left field. It's down for a base hit. And it looks like, I didn't get the notice, I normally get it sent to me, but it looks like Harris has come on to play center field for Fairchild, or Verdugo, who had came on to pinch hit for Fairchild earlier. So Harris is in center, and Eli is now in left. That's my mistake. I didn't see the notification. Normally I get it sent to me. So runner on first, nobody out. First pitch on the way. Swing, pops it up high. Will it stay in play? Ozzie giving chase down the line. It's going to bend in the crowd. It's 0-1. Braves lead 6-1, but there's still 6 defensive outs that we need to get. And I don't even want to see them flirt with coming back tonight. The 0-1 count. Up top for a strike. 0-2. Marsh doesn't like it. That's that same area. It's actually a tad lower of where they call the strike 3 on Acuna. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the change off the edge. 1 away. That's one of those pitches we haven't been seeing locating well for Iglesias. When he's really on it, that thing dives away out of the zone very low, but that's a pretty good one nonetheless for a strikeout in the first out of the inning. First pitch on the way is a P at the knees, 95 to Iglesias. I'm sorry, to Turner. I don't know what they've got up there. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Trey Turner is at the bat. If you're watching the Fox cast, that is not Iglesias. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2. An 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smoke him if you got him. He got him. 2 down. Good pitch. We really need Iglesias to stand and deliver. I don't care who's pitching the 8th and who's pitching the 9th. We need that combo of Iglesias and Dylan Lee to be lights out. As the rain continues to fall, first pitch on the way to Schwarber is a changeup down and in. It's 1-0. 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 94 right down Main Street. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way inside. That almost got him in the foot. Well, they're saying it did hit him in the foot. So Iglesias puts 2 on with 2 outs. That'll bring Alec Boehm to the plate. That is really close. Taking another look at it. I don't know if that hit his foot or not. Honestly, Braves ought to take a look at that. But maybe they prefer Boehm at the plate over. First pitch on the way, swung on, chopped over to Ozzie. Ozzie's got it, fires it to first, and that's a 4-3 putout, and that'll put the Phillies to bed as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Let's get a little more insurance, a little WSM. We shield millions, Braves country.
One thing about me, I'm gonna say whatever the I want until someone beats my ass. Then I'm gonna still say whatever the I want with a black eye, a couple missing teeth, maybe some broken bones.
If it's any consolation, I'm not really sure how good those tickets are. I was hoping to get something on the first few yard lines, but I can only get ones way back on the 50th.
Can we get another NCAA game? Like, I'm so frustrated that playing Madden is so challenging. I told my brother, I wish I would have played Madden more growing up and won Super Bowls on Madden and visualized that, because I spent so much time winning Heismans and winning championships on NCAA. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't play enough Madden. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I'm going back and I'm having to take my rating down from all Madden to all pro, and then I'm losing to all pro. Like, I'm not going to rookie. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to whatever the next one is. Like, and I'm getting these wins, but this doesn't feel real. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I play my brother, and he's 21 stomping me.
I don't want my child to miss knowing him. Who else is going to teach him how to catch a football ball?
Fellas, do y'all's ladies text y'all all day while you're at work telling you how much they miss you, but as soon as you get home, they're cussing you out about random stuff that's going on around the house? Or is it just me?
Because we've been playing it fundamentally the same way for so long, the way that we can find the benchmarks that cross generations and cross decades is to be able to use these statistics as if they were labels. They aren't numbers. 300 hitter is not a number. But 300 hitter is a tag that means something today, as it did in 1930, as it did in 1890. So the statistics become a means by which we can connect to the permanence. I can make that comparison with my father, who could have made it with his father, on that common language of statistics.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves, bottom of the 8th we go. Normally that's the inning where we've been scoring some runs, but tonight it was the bottom of the 7th as a grand slam by the Smurf broke this game wide open 6-1. Tell you what, Jameis Winston needs to go ahead and retire as a quarterback and jump into the studio at Fox or CBS, one of the pregame studios where everybody just sit back and laugh. I think that might be where he might be heading as he went to New York, if you noticed. It's the first pitch on the way to from Daniel Robert. He's coming up from Double-A. He's set to face Nick Allen, Acuna, and Olsen. It's 0-1. The 0-1. 97 up top. Check swing, 0-2. If anybody gets on, it'll be Marcell Ozuna. The 0-2 count. Swing, sizzles it back off the glove of the pitcher, Robert, and he's not going to get to it in time. Allen hustling down the line, and he'll have himself an infield single. By the time Robert got to the ball, Allen was crossing the bag. We've got the leadoff runner on again.
Hitting? It's not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity v in relation to the trajectory t, in which g, gravity, of course, remains a constant. It's not complicated.
I don't know, John, but if you haven't heard him in media interviews and everything lately, man, he is, I mean, Jameis Winston ought to be protected at all costs if you're a football fan. First pitch on the way is inside. For a ball, it's 1-0. 1-0. He was great down there during the Super Bowl media day. 1-0 hits the top of the zone with the cutter. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Thank you, UC. Uncle Charlie, the 1-1. Outside wide, sinker misses. Ball 2, 2-1. Thank you for the contribution. Two-one count. Brings it. Whoa, hey, high. Sweeper misses. 3-1. High and out of the zone. It was over the plate, but about 3 inches too high. The 3-1 count. They're going to go out there and talk to him real quick, or at least JT Real Muto will. Daniel Robert, 30-year-old. This is his major league debut, I believe. Let's see. Has he pitched before that? No, I'm sorry. He pitched a couple other times with Texas and one other time with Philadelphia. He's a 3-1s fouled back 3-2. The way they were showing it on the national broadcast, they made it out like he was a first timer. He hasn't had too much. What has he pitched a total of in his career? 6 innings. He's got a 4.26 ERA lifetime. The payoff pitch to Acuna. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw comes down to second. Nick Allen does steal the base, but Acuna's down on strikes, 1 away. Good hard fastball, 97 miles an hour. They're checking in and they want to challenge this. I don't know. It might mainly be because they're at the end of the game. They figure any out they can steal. I mean, did it hit his knee before his foot hit the bag? That's the question. I'm showing it right now. Yeah, I think they got him. I think it hit his shin just before his foot hit the bag. So in all likelihood, that's going to be an out. See what happened there. He stumbled out of his break towards second. And that probably cost him. That's assuming that they definitely believe that is a tag on the leg. It looks like from my vantage point. Charlie Elrod, you missed it all, man. One swing. Sean Murphy hammered a grand slam over the left field wall in the bottom of the 7th inning, a 455-foot blast. Here comes the call, and it is overturned, so it will be a caught stealing. 2 down, nobody on. By the way, Daniel Robert, the reliever on the mound, was drafted by the Texas Rangers in 2017 out of Auburn. War Eagle product. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is chopped foul down the first base line. It's 0-1. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact someone drafted in 2017 can already be 30 years old. Seems like it was just yesterday. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. The cutter down and in, it's 0-2. Ozuna stands on deck, but if he offers another swing like that, he's not going to see the plate. Rafael Montero is going to warm up in the pen. So it's not over yet. Buckle up. The 0-2. Swing, slices it foul. That really makes me want to get a insurance here or there. The 0-2. Robert comes set. His 13th pitch. Swing, slices it foul. We'll do it again. (0-2) count. Pitch on the way, outside wide, 1-2. Braves 6, Philly 1. Cubs lead the Astros 9-2. Those are the only two games going on right now, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one off the plate, and that'll end the inning. Braves have a 6-1 lead. We head to the top of the 9th, 3 defensive outs away from tying up this series.
Suspect says she missed a spot while shaving, but it appears to be the whole leg.
Suspect does not have a receding hairline. He swears it's been like that since he was little.
It has a picture. Suspect does not have acne, just one major humongous zit at a time.
Suspect is currently on foot, but may take flight by flapping his ears here pretty soon.
Suspect looked like she's running for the first time in her entire life.
Suspect is currently wearing those half socks girls usually wear with ballet flats.
Thankfully, suspect is not in a car. She failed her driver's test multiple times.
Don't bring that up right now. If the suspect gets away, he calls his mom about 20 times a day so we can ask her where he is.
Suspect always takes other people's jokes, tries to add on to them, just makes them worse, and it gets really awkward.
I'm gonna cry.
Phillies won 101 games and repeated as NL East champs, returning to the LCS, this time to face the Dodgers. The clubs split the first 2 games of the best-of-5 series. And then in Game 3, the Phils had a 2-run lead with 2 outs in the 9th, just 2 strikes away from a World Series.
It's called Black Friday.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
The 2-strike pitch, fly ball deep left. Luzinski going away back, and this ball is a double for Manny Mota. Gets away, coming in to score Davalillo. Mota will hold the third. Not an error as the ball got away. It's now a 5-4 ball game, and this game not over yet. Here's Davey Lopes' game on the line. Ground ball off net to Boa. A throw. No, not in time. This game is tied.
Davey Lopes hit a ground ball to my left that went off my glove, bounced straight to Larry Boa, barehanded the ball, threw it to first, and by all angles, Davey Lopes was out.
To this day, I'll go to my grave, he's out. If we have instant replay, he's out, and we might have another ring on our finger.
Welcome back. The Atlanta Braves lead this one 6-1. We're heading to the top of the 9th inning, and Rafael Montero will be the pitcher. Montero with a 3.86 ERA, set to face Castellanos. First pitch on the way, 95, right there at the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Kepler's due up after him, and then Real Muto. The 0-1, swing. Hammers it down the left field line, but foul, just foul. It's 0-2. Castellanos' biggest bugaboo this entire season and in previous seasons has been chasing pitches off the plate away from him. Worked on it in the offseason, started beginning of the year doing really well with that, but has gone back pretty much to that. So that's pretty much where they try to aim for after 2 strikes. The 0-2, swing, pops it up. High in the sky, into right field, running in, making the running catch is Acuna for out number 1. That's exactly where they went. It was a slider off the edge, and he chased it off the plate for a pop-up. It's not always a strikeout that he ends up with, but he does tend to chase. One away, Max Kepler. Dangerous left-hand bat. He's 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch on the way is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Right there, first strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Up top, did he go around? They checked down the line. He did not. 1-1. One count. Raphael brings it, swing, lifted, high into center field, but easily playable. Harris will make the catch. 2 down. Phillies down to their last out. Same two teams back at it tomorrow. 1:35 first pitch. We'll be right here on Braves Country Radio. Pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Spencer Strider Day tomorrow. He'll be going head-to-head with Ranger Suarez. For some reason, Smurf and Montero having a meeting on the mound. Maybe go over a game plan with Real Muto. Runs will be at a premium once again tomorrow with Ranger Suarez on the mound. They get an opportunity to get some offense going in the early going. They've got to cash in. First pitch on the way is 95, just misses inside, 1-0. Cubs now lead 12-2. There is an Angels-Nationals game starting in a few minutes. That's the only other game for the night. You get 1-0. Smacks it off his leg. 1-1. 1-1 count. Other games that took place earlier today, A's knocked out the Yankees 7-0 in the Bronx. Tigers 10-5 winners in Detroit over the Twins. The 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. Pirates, good news out of Pittsburgh. They knocked out the Mets 9-2. They've beaten them down both games. I think yesterday was either 9-1 or 8-1. The 2-1. 95. P at the knees. Full count. Phillies down to the last strike. Rays in Baltimore, Maryland, 11-3 over the Orioles. Rangers 3-2 over the Mariners in Texas. In Cincinnati, Padres won 6-4. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it away. We'll do it again. In Cleveland, Ohio today, the Cardinals outlasted the Guardians 9-6. Red Sox pound Toronto 15-1 in Fenway. The 2-2 for Montero. In the dirt, full count. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Brewers were 5-0 victors over the Rockies. Royals beat the Dodgers 9-5 in Kansas City, Missouri. White Sox blanked the Giants 1-0 in Chicago as the payoff pitch. Swing, fouls that one back. And earlier this afternoon, the Marlins came back and beat the Diamondbacks in extra innings 8-7 in Arizona. So everything went pretty much the way the Braves wanted to on the teams they're chasing. Can't be a perfect day, but they had some help today. The payoff pitch. Swing, chops it foul once again. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Montero's 15th of the evening. Braves 6, Phillies 1. The payoff. Swing, chops it again. The payoff pitch for Montero. Swing, fouls it back, 95, out of play. The payoff once again from Montero. Swing, that ball's hit high and deep into center field, but not deep enough. Michael Harris II, 75% of the world is surrounded by water, the rest by the Hawk. Braves win, Braves win, your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. Sean Murphy with the player of the game. He'll get the game ball. It's kind of the difference between him and Schwellenbach. Schwellenbach did a dandy. If there was 2 game balls, you'd give him each one, but you got to give Smurf. How often do we give a chance to give it to Smurf? Smurf comes in with the big grand slam in the bottom of the 7th inning. On top of that, Sean Murphy was 2 for 4, 1 run, 4 RBI, and Schwellenbach struck out a dozen in 7 innings. Braves will move back within a 1 game closer to Philly. We'll try to win this sucker tomorrow. 135 first pitch behind the arm of Spencer Schwellenbach. Y'all have a great one, Braves country.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
It is the American game. That's just what it is. And actually, I can feel like I'm 15 when I'm talking baseball. I'm watching baseball. This is it. It does this. It can do this to any. It brings you back.